Hello, everyone. Today I wanted to tune in and talk about one of the most notorious tools in sex magic, the orgasm. I want to give a little context. I'm sure that we're familiar with the orgasm a lot in our sex lives, but I want to go a step further and explore what the orgasm means in our spiritual life as well. So maybe through conceptualizing the orgasm and climax in this way and understanding the different magical perspectives that are taken, then you yourself could learn to contemplate and perhaps even use the orgasm as a tool in your own practice. So the first thing about the orgasm that is really powerful, and the reason that we use it in magic, is because it has so much creative energy. Sex is one of the ways that we manifest three-dimensional things in our world. And so, the concepts around fertilization and sex and birth are really tied in with the creative energy of the orgasm. And that story of manifestation, as without, so within, as above, so below, we have within us this creative energy that can be symbolized by the orgasm. And so that moment of climax carries with it some of those correspondences and those energies around creation and manifestation. And that creative energy can be really powerful, especially if you're an artist or if you're an entrepreneur and you really are trying to build something from nothing in a creative way. The orgasm, particularly with the self, is a really amazing way to do that because it carries with it a lot of energy for creativity. And then if you want to take, the spells a step further, you can also consider the birth and the protection of that. So creative energy is the first reason that the orgasm is incredibly powerful. And then for my practice, I also consider communication with the subconscious and communication with the cosmos to be a big reason or philosophy behind spell work. So, for instance, if I make a dramatic scene on my altar and I light these candles and I create a space where my breath is slow and my mind is receptive, and I stare at a sigil, right, a symbol of some kind, I am creating this space and this arena so that my subconscious can understand the importance, right? So I'm making meaning, right? We're little meaning making machines. And so that's a huge part of how I carry my practice, is about communicating with the subconscious and the cosmos in those dramatic ways. And the orgasm to me is just a symbol, sending a beacon into the cosmos, especially when you're focusing on your intention and you're practicing manifestation with the orgasm. There's a really powerful energy that you send out, like a flare gun, that is alerting the cosmos and alerting your subconscious to the thing that is carried with it, with the climax, which would be your intention. If you haven't watched the video about doing the simple sex spell where you focus on your intention during an orgasm, you can do that and you can practice in masturbation and then carry that concept with you of being a light or a beacon in your climax and having that attention attached to it to sort of get the attention of either your subconscious or your cosmos or your higher power, whatever it is that you communicate with in order to create manifestation. So that to me is kind of the second reason that orgasm is so powerful, is because it's so dramatic and it's so symbolic. And we, as humans, really resonate with that. And then depending on your worldview or your magical study, you might also understand that deities and God and the universe really respond to that as well. And then the third would be self-love, which is my favorite. I think that self-love is so important. And you might even replace the word love with belief, which I do a lot in my practice now. It's about loving yourself and believing in yourself and connecting with yourself. And I can take magic very seriously sometimes, but when it comes to sex magic, sometimes you can just gift yourself an orgasm and dedicate it to yourself and woo yourself and give yourself pleasure and understand your capacity and your understanding around attraction and try to embody archetypes that make you feel attractive during masturbation and really just love yourself. And I think that self-love and self-belief are a really important foundational magical practice because when we don't believe in ourselves or we hate ourselves, our magic sometimes comes out sideways. And so we can practice things surrounding our pleasure, particularly if we have some blockages in the area of orgasm or sex or masturbation or bodies. We can kind of transcend those three-dimensional traps by, leveling up in our sexual experience and achieving orgasm in that way. And there are a lot of fun ways to love yourself during masturbation. And so maybe instead of fantasizing about another person or watching porn, then you might replace that need in yourself with an attraction for self and a desire to please yourself, which might sound a little weird and uncomfortable, but it's something that you can practice if you feel like it aligns with the work that you'd like to do. And then to kind of go along with that would be the fourth, which is the release. So release is a really powerful concept in meditation, in practicing surrender and practicing going along in the stream. And so sometimes when you're experiencing an orgasm, you might experience some tension in, your root or in your sacral, and there might be some density around there. And then when you do reach climax, you feel that release. And so that release feeling might be where you want to focus your energy while you're pleasuring yourself for sex magic, and maybe understand the ways that patterns of releasing and holding on are either serving you or not. And give yourself the opportunity to kind of mix your meditation with your masturbation and understand the release is a part of that, and then just sit in that release in Shavasana. Find a place within you that is calm. And then this is a place that you can revisit once you understand the energy and you've played with it a little. It's a place that you can go back to, maybe even outside of self-pleasuring or masturbating. Understanding that moment of release and climax might contribute to your practice as well, which, it's just fun to come, right? So if you don't want to imagine things during your orgasm, then you can practice the feeling after the orgasm and understand the release a little, which might be useful for beginners. And then finally, the fifth way that I've been able to use orgasms in my practice is understanding this is true for me and maybe for a lot of people with vaginas that have full body orgasms occasionally. But the orgasm is a time when you have the opportunity to be present with all of the sensations in your body at once. And so this is a reason that some people may delay their orgasm or try not to ejaculate. When they try to play with that orgasm energy, what they're playing with is the presentness and the heightened senses in their physical body, which is very useful for magic. So understanding and kind of playing with those energies as well can be fun. And being present with our body is a huge part of meditation as well. And so if you are in an ecstatic situation, maybe with another person or with yourself, and you can feel kind of the electricity of the orgasm all over your body, this is also a concept that you can revisit. And trying to be present in your body with your orgasms. If you have concentrated, it's all in the genital orgasm, then you might try slowing down or edging a little bit as much as is safe. You should probably Google some safe edging practices so that you don't accidentally blow yourself up or whatever. But if you want to practice staying really present as your pleasure builds in your body and staying really present with the feelings that the orgasm brings with it, then that is an excellent meditative practice. And it really is kind of, I could sit for hours and hours summoning, the feelings of an orgasm or the feelings of pleasure. And it would probably, be a little bit of a gateway to that sensation experience, right? Which I don't think would be a replacement for actual connection with the divine, but playing with and understanding those energies is really what we're doing when we're working with sex and magic. And if we do have plans to manifest or meditate or cleanse or clear or connect, then orgasm, I think, is a really great way to start. And then you can start moving towards things like attraction and pleasure and partner work if it feels safe for you. So I hope that those concepts make a lot of sense, and that they take you forth into some exploration of your orgasms, and maybe understanding which of those concepts and contemplations, maybe even journal about some of those and see what works for you, to find a way that you can access your inner self, your cosmic self, your higher self, through the experiences of orgasm and pleasure. I'm sending lots of love.